Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and it's Aprylete Day, or she likes to be called Miss Aprylete. Mistress of the evening, I think, is the other part of it. Hello,
Ooh.
Aprylete. How are you?
Hey, I'm
I'm gonna need a
good.
little bit more energy from you.
Okay, all
I've
right,
been,
let's do this
I've,
again.
I've been trying, in advance of this, but I'm gonna need a little bit more from you.
Okay, so April is good today. How are you? Is it better?
Well,
Woo!
Sybil is glad that Aprylete is better. And Yolanda Starks White, how is Yolanda today?
Hey, Sybil. How
Hey,
are
dear.
you?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Miss April Day.
Yay. I think we're more excited
Yay.
than Miss Aprilette.
No,
But
Sybil, I really am this excited because I made a decision today again, and it's a decision that I have to constantly make, that I'm just living in a season of gratitude, which is my permanent state. It's a whole lot of nonsense going on. I think I shared with you today after yoga. If we had 2 more hours in a day, I
mhm.
think that would help me out. But
Mm,
since we don't, this is what we have, and I'm grateful for it.
I feel that same way, especially in the mornings when I'm writing a story. I wish that I had a
yeah.
couple more hours before getting to yoga. So I get it. Absolutely. Absolutely get it. Aprilette, do you find yourself running out of time during the day?
Yeah, like I think a lot of times I find myself like racing the clock, but how do we fix that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how we fix it. But no, a lot of times I feel like I'm racing against the clock. But I know for me, that's because I take my time and I, kind of lollygag a little bit. So it's just like the clock is always attached to other things. But
Hmm.
Right.
for me in my life, it's just like, dang, what's the rush? Like, why
Amen.
are we rushing? So that's where I have the issues at. But this week, I've started this workout challenge. So I've been incorporating it's called a sexy curvy cut challenge.
Oh my.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying so I'm gonna be sexy curvy and cut pretty
Okay.
soon.
The
So yes,
summer of 2-4. Okay.
there we go. So yeah, I've been trying to incorporate I have to make time for that so I can make sure that I get my hour workout in.
Well, you already sexy, sexy, curvy, and what?
Cut is in like, ripped. Like
Well, are you cut? I know you sexy and curvy. Are you cut?
I appreciate that. No, I'm not cut. So let's see what
All
this
right.
next 4 weeks is gonna look
And
like.
what do you do in order to cut?
Right.
So it's just the weights that I'm lifting and then really the nutrition. So the diet that I'm on, it has me eating 3 times a day. I don't eat 3 times a day. That's a lot. And I know that's average, but so I'm really actually
But it
eating.
also depends on what you're eating.
That is true. That is true. So I have a meal plan and everything like that. And what's the thing that I've noticed was my meal plan is literally how I eat because I'm a clean eater just naturally. It's just my lifestyle. So what's on the meal plan? I'm like, oh, I already do that. So the meal plan isn't really hard for me. It's the
How
eating
about
3 times
how
a
about
day.
how about the alcohol intake? Can you do that?
Can you go out for your
No.
lemon drops?
No, and I'm not the type of person. I don't get mocktails, baby. If I'm gonna drink my calories, let it have a little, let it have a little something to get me buzzed. So no alcohol this whole month. And my girlfriend was just like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do on Fridays, baby? I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out something else because I like to have a
So
little
this
cocktail on Friday."
so this month is June.
Yes,
So you no alcohol for June.
yes,
Okay.
yep, yep.
So you started on the first?
The third. It started
Okay.
on the third,
The
like that
Monday.
Monday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'd love to get updates from
I,
you.
def- I I definitely will give you updates, Sybil. I like that. Sybil said, I love to get updates. Yeah, perfect. I'll let you know how it's
Okay.
going.
All right. Cool. Because Yolanda and I are well, we're stretching, but I'm not doing the stuff to get cut
It's
or to
okay.
yeah.
So Sybil, funny you should mention that. I am going to sign up for, I mean, outside of our yoga class,
Hmm.
I'm going to sign up to do a class, a Zumba class, a kickboxing class. I'm gonna sign up for a class.
That's gonna be nice.
Are you with me?
I would love to hear the updates as you give them.
You at least gotta do one class with me, Sybil.
I will be your biggest cheerleaders, ladies. I
Yes,
will.
Love that.
yes,
I
you
know.
will.
Yep, absolutely. I find myself with the stretching that I do is strenuous enough for me right along through here, and the walking.
And if you walked up that hill in your backyard, that's
That
really
Mm,
all you
that's
would need to
really
do.
is strenuous.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah,
Sybil, if
incline.
I lived where you live,
I
I
know
would do that twice a day.
you and
Like
your
she lives on a hill with a really good incline.
Yeah.
it's very steep, and
Mm.
but the problem I have with it is that they don't mow it enough for me.
Mm.
So
Eh,
it,
that's you're not in it long enough. That's why you need to go through it.
I have a
That's
serious
even more
fear.
incentive.
Okay, okay.
but did you hear my lie? If I lived over there, I
I
would do it
I no, I was just
Twice a
gonna,
day.
three times a day.
I was gonna let the lie live. But because you don't live that far from the hill, so
Well,
Right. A
that's
hop,
something.
skip, and a jump away.
Well, I'm
right.
just saying, if it were in my
You can
backyard,
drive over to the hill, walk up and down, get back in your car, and be back home.
in 3 minutes.
Right. Well, there's this getting up the hill.
So
Yeah.
silly.
Well, so that's that's our lives. And I think I'm the one of, well, two of us that's being more honest with myself. Um,
Ouch.
but it was but Yolanda, it has, and April, I don't know if you have experienced this, but it has gone from mild and a livable situation in the Dallas Fort Worth area to today. I had my air conditioner on high blast as I was running an errand because it's 100 degrees now.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
Or
100
well,
degrees?
it was 96.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hot.
Mm.
I got out the car and my glasses actually steamed
Steamed
up.
up, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never experienced this before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because I was saying something is going on. We are in June. We should be in the 90s, and we just hadn't been.
And it was nice. I was
Yeah,
I was really digging it. But
but it wasn't right.
but the other part is because we've had so much rain this season, they said, hello, Gucci Mane. Because we've had so much rain, they said that it might not be, it might, what did Pete Delka say? He said, because we had so much rain, I know I'm repeating myself, it might be that the temperatures will not be as cataclysmic and hot as they have been in those years where we didn't have as much rain. Because
Oh,
we've
wow.
had a lot of
A lot
rain.
of rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even I didn't want to say anything to discourage her and her Instagram, but our friend Justice was complaining, oh, I'm so sick of the rain. Oh God, I'm so sick. And I was thinking, damn it, don't you have yards to water and stuff? We're saving money by all of this. And she was, just when you make plans, and it wasn't about that. It wasn't about the flooding and all the people that are doing are really affected. She goes, just when you make plans with your girlfriends to go out, and then here comes the rain. I was like, oh, child.
The problems, first
Right.
world problems.
Really, truly young first world problems, right?
Well, that's why again I say for real, it's whatever your problem is, it's your problem and it's real to you.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I choose to live in a season of gratitude, because it's
Yeah.
always something that can
Yeah.
disrupt your peace.
Absolutely.
And I'm not a great sleeper these days, but I tell you, when those storms come,
Sleep like a baby.
man, whew, like a baby. Whew.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Baby.
Yeah, I overslept the other morning.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Girl,
Yeah.
Aprylette, I'm going around to her house. I'm beating on the door. I'm beating so hard the neighbor across the street came
Open
out.
the door and was like,
Okay.
They just wanted to know what was going on.
That's some good sleeping.
Lynn, you clearly
Really.
needed it, baby.
And
clearly
with the fan going and it's all up underneath. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Yeah, you must have needed that
it
sleep.
was really good. So there you go. Let's talk a little bit of serious business and what's in the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our Monday through Friday newsletter in which we seek to what? Super serve the African American community. That's right, to inform and empower. We have a number of different subjects that we address every day. And Aprilette Russell, or Miss Aprilette, as she prefers to be called, is our mental health and wellness contributor. In addition to Coy Malone, who is social justice, Quinn Townsend Riley, who is our LGBTQIA plus contributor, and her big brother Cameron, who I think gave you a shout out and said could be Mrs. Cameron Riley.
Yeah, I heard that.
You heard that?
I heard. I
Yeah.
heard.
Did you hear it, or did somebody call you and tell you?
Of course, someone called me and told me.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's
Okay.
it.
There's something going on we need to know about, because I know that y'all work together. But see, y'all don't officially work together, so it's just contract. So everything is permissible. So where we at?
I am flattered.
Are you? Okay.
Oh, that's so good. Did somebody teach you that? That's a great response. I like that.
I'm flattered by all this attention, but I must say, oh dear, is it warm in here or is it just me? Seriously, Aprilette and Cameron worked together on the What You Need to Know newsletter, and you know she was admiring his tats the other day.
Absolutely, he has some really great tattoos. Like I didn't realize that he was tatted up. Like I don't even know if y'all knew that he was tatted up.
Well, that just made me think we need to have a dress code for our Zoom meetings, because like that just seems totally inappropriate to me. But that's just me. That's just me. So Aprilette in this day's newsletter writes about the effect of the internet on the mental health of teenagers. So do tell, Miss Flattered.
Do tell, yeah. So there's a new study that is out where researchers, they reviewed 12 MRI neuroimaging studies from adolescents from the ages 10 to 19. So they conducted these studies between 2013 to 2022, and they found that the teens with internet addiction showed a disruption in brain activities in areas that are responsible for attention, memory, and other critical functions. So the study is really just highlighting that the teenagers' brains are still developing, and it's just really crucial to understand how internet can really affect teenagers. And I know we've heard probably before, like how social media impacts the mental health and how gaming affects the mental health as well. So this is just internet addiction, like the whole World Wide Web.
Does that mean porn and things like that too?
Porn is included on the internet, if you know.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that was just
a question. So yeah. I mean, whatever goes on the internet. So we use internet in our daily lives, whether that is what we're doing right now, whether it's work, whether it's really the GPS, going to the store, porn, whatever the case may be, it falls underneath the internet addiction. And so this study actually was based out of Asia. And China was the first country to declare internet addiction as a public health crisis. In the United States, we haven't classified this as a disorder. We have the gaming disorder that is listed in the mental health disorder book, but not internet addiction. So this is a study that came right out of China because of their public health crisis. But I thought this was interesting because since we have acknowledged in the U.S. social media and gaming, I think it's only a matter of time before we use studies like this, looking at the, neuroimaging and the scans of the brain that shows the addicting patterns are still based or pretty much mirrored to substance abuse or any addiction that is classified in the mental health disorder handbook.
Wow. And as one who is who knows about mental health and has the experience in helping others, do you have any experience in terms of young people and what this looks like for young people and what we can do to help them? Does it mean taking away their internet access?
I mean, when you think about teenage and taking away internet access, it's kind of hard to, because like I said, everything that we do, please don't quote me on my quotes, but I would say more than 50% of everything, at least young people do, is on the internet. Even with schools and things like that, they have computer classes and now laptops. I know my nephew, he is 17. When he was 12, they had a laptop in the classroom. He had brought it home for homework and things like that. So I don't think that will be necessarily the answer, but I do believe that if we are suspecting teenagers in our life that are struggling with internet addiction or something that looks like that, the signs are just like a withdrawal from family and friends, and again, gaming a lot on the internet 24/7, can't put down the smartphone, not necessarily going, I mean, the things that we kind of have said before, not going outside, not picking up a book, and just really being withdrawn. So that's just really something to look at, and what to do about that, I am not for sure, because we need the internet every day.
So let me tell you about a couple of teenagers that I know, my goddaughters, and they are the queerest girls I've ever seen. Not queer as in their sexuality, just strange. So they don't like. I will text one and I don't get a response like for weeks because she doesn't turn her phone on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is interesting, especially in today's age.
She's a freshman in college. And her older sister is a little bit older, a couple of years older, and she's not a big texter either. And they rarely turn on their phones. And
so what are they into?
I don't know. They don't answer my text to let me know.
Well, I mean, are they into music? Are they into theater? Are they into sports?
They are runners.
Okay, so they may be outside.
On the track team.
But I mean, they're at the age, are they runners? Are they competitors?
They were in competitive track.
Okay.
I don't know if they're still doing it. I don't know.
Okay.
Because they don't respond to
because I don't know that it's all bad. I think that we can group anything.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, babe.
No, you go. You don't know that we can group.
That we can group anything and make it bad. But I think anything we do in access is not good for us.
Right.
If it's like me watching a lot of TV.
Like me on my phone. I get it. But I also think that it's for young people, for teenagers. I don't know any teenagers from, that have phones from like 13 on up that, don't have their phones on and, until their parents take them away at night, that kind of thing, that they aren't on the phone. I don't know. It just seems that the access to the internet is it's so variable and so wide.
And it's good because there's a lot that's on the internet too. Like even your godchildren who are into sports, they have apps that could actually help them chart how they're running, where they are. There are different things. So it can be used for good as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely beneficial. I think that the issue is not even the issue. I think the thing is just balancing the benefits and being aware of the risk. And again, with being addicting and what does that behavior look like? So just using the internet, having your phone on and things like that, that's normal and it's a part of our society.
Here's your friend.
Then I tell Sybil those girls got 2 phones. All right. Midnight Rider on YouTube. You're like, they don't answer the one she knows about. You're right. The numbers that their parents gave them.
That's what I say. They playing games. Yeah. They doing something.
Right. You're right, Midnight Rider. Okay.
And I will say this about texting. I know a lot of the older generation was like, I don't want to do that texting, and now they have like taken over texting. Like for me, baby, call me. Like just call me real quick. Or like I send a lot of voice memos because I don't like texting. And it's just like, you may not get a response back from me and I may forget and how my brain works and I'm moving around. So texting for
I'm
me.
finding that too. No, babe. It's not just me. I'm telling you, don't try to catch on because Aprylete told us before. It changes. I'm finding that out too. Young people, they not texting. They only
And so now it's just
it changes so much.
Well, I try to do that. I will call and leave a message, and it goes straight.
No. I didn't say they check the messages.
Well, their phones aren't on, period.
Right, they're not answering. They're not even looking at that phone. But next time, try to leave a voice memo, not even a voice message.
Yes.
Like just like talk, like, hey, just checking on you, see how you was doing, hit me back, and then just send it, and then they can listen to it. That may switch up the,
Well, she's got a birthday coming up. Maybe she'll answer.
And I don't understand the difference in, because that is another thing, that the voice message as voice memo as opposed to leaving a voicemail message.
The difference is because it's in the text thread. So
say, girl, it's the same.
Listen, say if we're in the middle of a conversation texting and I hop in my car, or let me say not car, because texting and driving, that's a whole thing. So, and I just start walking. Baby, I don't feel like texting. So what I'm going to do is, if we're in the middle of a text, hey, yo, all right, girl, I heard that. Just let me know. And then you hear it, and then you can just say it back to me. It don't take much. You just
talking. All right.
So, yeah.
We're learning. I'm open to learning.
There you go.
Now, it might change next week, and I'm open to that too.
Right. But for this moment, and until we meet Miss Aprylete again, I will, just go with I'm just wondering, are people saying that they have concerns about young people? Because I know that the social media is very concerning for a lot of folks, and how the bullying and things that still goes on a lot of these are dangerous and into the mental health.
Well, I will say that that the American American Psychiatric Association has included it as a topic in their presidential advisory for 2023 and 2024. So that means that eyes are on this topic, and it's actually technology addiction and not just internet addiction. So I think the conversation is starting to be had in those places where people are, starting to look at it and, make it a topic of discussion.
Yolanda, you are so funny to me. So thank you for that. And if you'd like to subscribe to the What You Need to Know newsletter, please go to SybilWilkes.com and give us your name and your email address. The subscription is absolutely free, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday morning. Let's move to what's really going on. And this was suggested by Yolanda a couple weeks ago. I don't know if she remembers, but do you remember the story about an actress? Her name is Angie Harmon. She was on a number of TV shows, so maybe like Law and Order, Yolanda, and a couple of other things. And she is suing Instacart and its delivery driver for fatally shooting her dog. Now, we are all dog lovers, and you two are dog owners. She has filed a lawsuit against Instacart, the delivery company, and the driver, who fatally shot her dog while delivering groceries to her home in North Carolina. The lawsuit seeks to hold the shopper and the Instacart liable for accusations of trespassing, gross negligence, emotional distress, invasion of privacy, among other allegations, and accuses Instacart of engaging in negligent hiring, supervision, retention, and misrepresentation. This is the most distressing thing. She's gone on television. I think she's been on Good Morning America and perhaps other programs. And this was the family pet. And it was a little dog. It wasn't like a huge Great Dane or a massive bull, pit bull or something like that, that people associate with violence on their part. But this was just the family pet. And
so what happened?
She said according to the complaint, she ordered groceries delivered to her home in North Carolina. The app showed a shopper named Merle with a profile of an older woman who she believed was exchanging text messages about her order. Later that day, she was upstairs. This is where it got me. She was filling her squirrel feeders. They don't need feeding. I hate squirrels. When a tall and intimidating younger man, not an older woman, showed up to deliver the groceries. She heard a gunshot sound and rushed outside, found her pet dog, Oliver, had been shot, and saw a delivery person putting a gun in the front of his pants, according to the lawsuit. Her teenage daughters were outside in distress. The dog died at the veterinarian's office.
I have a question, which is, did she get the groceries? Or did the driver just come up and shoot the dog?
No, the driver was supposed to be the delivery person.
But never delivered the groceries.
I don't know if that delivery was completed. But
the dog, killed the dog. But I'm like, what was? Yeah, I'm just trying to correlate. Did we drop the groceries off and then shoot the dog? Because if it wasn't the woman, it's like, was this just a random person at this point? Because it didn't match the description of the woman.
They said they immediately suspended the shopper after receiving the report about the shooting and later removed him permanently. They say it runs comprehensive background checks on shoppers, prohibits them from carrying weapons, and has anti-fraud measures that include periodically requiring them to take a photo of themselves to ensure the person shopping matches the photo on the file. And so obviously there was some big, and I don't know if it was a computer mix up or what, but the middle-aged woman that was supposed to be her shopper ended up being a young black man. And the man was armed and shot and killed her dog.
God.
I don't even know if there's a question for this. I just know that it just seems so grossly inhumane. And I know that yes.
As usual.
You are the contrarian.
So I just have a different perspective. Open your mind and hear me out. Just to start out with, I just recently found out that my puppy Ramsey is probably the closest anything or anybody has ever been to me. The way that I feel for him is inexplicable. I just can't explain this thing that he and I have. It's weird. And it came to a head when he just recently got sick and I had to go through something with him. So let me say that. The studio that we live at, I mean, the studio where our yoga center is, it's also, they just have a vet that moved in. I sometimes go, I don't know who this person is, but I go over there just to visit the puppies before my class starts. I'm caught up, I'm in. Having said that, I am a black woman and I'm married to an old black man. So most of the time, the people who come to our house for repair are old black men. And I can tell you 100%, the black men that come to my house, they are petrified at my dogs.
Your dogs are different than this.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. If you have trauma with a dog is a dog.
A dog is a dog.
Dog. And I'm telling you, some people are afraid of dogs. And so if this man, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but at the end of the day, I'm very fair. If this man is fearing for his life, he did what he had to do to protect himself. She does not have a case. He was there for a reason. He wasn't just some random person
walking down the street. Yeah.
He was there working. He felt his life was endangered. He did what he had to do. It's awful. Do
you know that for a fact that is what he has said, that he felt his life was in danger?
No, I don't know that. But that would be the assumption that is made.
Over a little bitty dog.
If it was a tiny, sminy dog, like your fear is your fear, is your fear, is your fear. Some people are afraid. I don't get it. Some people are afraid of little spiders that you can put in your hand.
I don't like that.
I'm just like, it's in your hand. You can squeeze it.
No, you had a tarantula in your hand.
You had a tarantula in your hand?
It was in my hand.
Girl.
It was
a hairy tarantula that filled the palm of her hand.
No, ma'am. We're not doing that.
I have the pictures to prove it.
And show me, because we're not doing that, Yolanda. Girl.
Let's not digress.
Living on the edge, honey. A tarantula in your hand that has the ability to crawl up and come in your mouth and just...
Or you could squash it before it crawls.
Or he could have gone back to his truck and called the woman and said, "Look, your dog, I don't know your dog, but I'm fearful. Can you come put your dog in the house and then I will deliver your groceries?"
Yeah, he could have done that, but when you're afraid, it's kind of hard to do that stuff. We got a couple of comments.
Regina Glover on Facebook says, I'm fearful of dogs, all of them. And we have people like we could bring Ramsey to the studio, but we have people who are fearful
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
and Ramsey is it's
The
so not
sweetest can be.
he's not
Yeah.
aggressive or anything like that. Dr. R on YouTube says, I am afraid of dogs, regardless of the size. Afraid.
So when you
Exclamation
have
point.
people coming, and I'm telling you, I have to tell my husband this all the time, and he act like one of them. People come over, they don't want to be bothered with your dog. Go put your
Yeah.
dog
No,
up.
that is true. Put the dog up because
When
you just
people don't,
never
when people
know.
come, put
Yeah.
the dog up.
But
We
you
know
used to be one of those people.
what.
You
Used to
What
be
people?
afraid of
used
dogs?
to be one of those people who didn't want to be
I wasn't
around
afraid
dogs.
of dogs. I just didn't like them. I just didn't want. Hey, Aprylette, if I came over your house and you had a dog in the house, I don't want to sit down. I don't want nothing to drink. I don't have to use the restroom. I don't have nothing to do with nothing.
I just don't like him, and I really don't like you. At this point, do you even want to be my friend?
I am on Miss Harmon's side. I think that there was a way to handle this, and I think he mishandled it
Yeah,
completely.
yeah,
And
without
I
a doubt,
think
he
he
could have
should be
handled it
charged.
different.
He should lose his job, and he should be charged for it
Charged with what?
with killing the dog.
Murder.
What if he felt like his life was in danger?
If you, like I said, you should have if you have this, if you have enough presence of mind to put a gun in your pocket, then you have a presence of mind to say, okay, I need to prepare myself for the possibility of something happening, and in order not to have to use my gun, then I will just remember and use those energies to go back to my truck, to call the people that I'm delivering to, and say, please come put your dog up.
So how far does that go? So if you're carrying the gun, it's obvious for your protection in your mind. So if a robber came up, should you like,
It's a
hold on,
different
robber,
it's a
I'm gonna go
different
call the police?
it's a different case than an innocent dog.
Well, how does he know that the dog was innocent?
You just look at it. It's so cute. It's just a little, it's just a little bitty, just a little ball of fur. That's
Yeah, you got
all.
some comments, Sybil, some good
Okay.
comments.
Janet Ferguson, this guy came by my house Saturday, and I didn't like that because it let me know you're coming by, and my dog went off. He said, don't let her out. I started to, but I didn't. She didn't like him.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so you got to call Janet first.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Sheila Faye on Facebook, they have the wrong job if you go to strangers' houses and know that you may come in contact with pets. Yeah, I agree. Brenda McCutcheon on Facebook, is there a policy not to have pets loose if expecting delivery persons? There might be.
Yeah,
There might be a city law, and it might be also in her community or or her homeowners association, or it could be within the company.
Right, because the dog was clearly outside. Like he wasn't
Dog was
going out of her
outside.
house. Got
With,
it.
with the kids.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jackie Welch on YouTube says that's easier said than done when you're afraid. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
But if you're going to take responsibility for handling a gun and keeping it on your person,
You
you
gotta
also have to take responsibility for how you're going to handle this in your head.
absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
But you're right, Jackie. You're absolutely. It is easier said than done. Shanita Pond on Facebook says, hello, I agree with the comment about going back to the car and calling the customer about the dog.
Because I wish when I'm scared that I have the insight with fear to stop and make a reasonable decision like that, or that might be why I have my gun.
I got a question.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
if he was dropping off groceries, did he drop the bags and then grab the gun? Like I don't know. I'm just
Right. You want the whole
where
visual.
are the groceries at? Because if you're getting out the car with groceries, you had enough time to think to drop the bags, get the gun. So it's just like I just have to.
I don't know that there's enough time when you're scared. It's impulse. If you're scared, it's impulse, and you.
Oh, he dropped groceries. Boom.
You don't. Yeah, that can
back.
happen just like that. That is reacting, not responding to a bad situation. And
we have someone that works with us who was an Instacart shopper. I wonder. I know she's not watching now, But I would love to have that
Instacart
discussion with her.
before, but I mean, they come to
No,
the.
she worked for
Oh,
Instacart.
she
She was
worked
a
for Instacart.
shopper
Got you.
and delivered.
Got you. She was a shopper. Okay,
Yeah,
not a.
yeah, not a shoppy.
Yeah.
Sybil, I know it's time for us to close, but we always have time for this.
Okay, because it's dog might have been trained to attack blacks, says Brenda McCutcheon. Oh Lord.
Ain't that always the case?
Well, to be fair, I told you
Men always doing something to us.
we were having a discussion about dogs in my life. I don't have a dog now, but I do, have a love for Yolanda and Ward's dogs. And I was
We love you.
thinking back about the dog that my dad brought home, and it was really my daddy's dog. When my dad died, we kept the dog, but she started to go through dementia, and so, but before she did that, she had a bark that was for black folks, and she had a bark for
Shut
white
up,
folks.
Sybil.
I promise. The Maytag man came to work on the washing machine, and Snooky was, and my mom was like, George, put the damn dog up, because the man got to fix the washing machine. My daddy's buddies would come by.
That's so funny.
You a silly girl. You think that's how that worked?
I promise you, every white person that came to the door
It was
got that. And every black person came. Good to see you. Come on in.
That's how you heard it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks for participating in that discussion. Trending topics. Let's move to that. Aprylete, we're going to keep an eye on you and your diets and your cutting and
sexy curving.
Sexy curvy cut.
Yeah.
Diet. Yes. And Yolanda, we're going to keep up with you and what exercises you're going to choose. Are you going to go back to boxing? Are you going to go back to jazzercise? Whatever it is.
Jazzercise.
I like that. Yeah.
Here's some other, and I'll tell you, I will just continue to drink as much water as I can as I look at the hill behind my house. I'm kidding. I just have to get my pants and my socks all so that I'm covered up.
Because of the grass.
Well, because of the grass and also the insects bites. They absolutely love me.
Yeah,
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
They don't bother me at all, Aprylete. I could stand just in the middle of a puddle of mosquitoes, and I'm like, what?
And they don't touch you.
I'm like, what? What's wrong?
What's wrong with me?
Right.
Why you doing this all the time? Why you doing that?
Why not get some of my blood?
They tried it and they go, Pah!
Oh my goodness.
Good.
You're very lucky. You're absolutely right. Donald Trump has a list of vice presidential candidates. Anyone care to talk about who's on that list?
Yay.
I know you're going to tell us anyhow. So
I am.
Come on with it.
That is why we're here, young Aprylete.
That's right.
He is formally underway the search for the vice president. There's been an increased focus on 4 candidates, although his short list is not yet complete, according to Trump officials, and the vetting process is ongoing. First is Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Now, there's questions whether Donald Trump, who is a resident of the state of Florida, can have a running mate who is also from the state of Florida. There is an amendment in the Constitution, and I want to say it's like the 12th Amendment, that will not allow the 2 candidates to be from the same state. So there's questions about that. And New York, they've already made Donald Trump feel very unwelcome, so I doubt that he's going to move there. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, who is a gazillionaire and could probably put a couple of dollars in the Donald Trump defense
That
fund.
would be a good one for him.
Black man, he is a man of color. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, he's the junior senator from the state of Ohio, have received vetting materials and are the candidates most frequently discussed internally, according to reports by Trump and his campaign. A source familiar with the process added that the former president may still choose another candidate, like former Trump cabinet member Dr. Ben Carson, another person of color, Or what about former competitor Nikki Haley? Now,
and there's also Herschel Walker that's still out there. Same thing.
bravo. Yes, same thing as Tim Scott and Dr. Ben Carson or Byron Donalds, congressman from Florida. You're absolutely right.
So, Sybil, can you just remind me right quick? What do we know about JD Vance?
JD Vance was a former is a former liberal writer, and once he decided he was going to get into politics, he went with he saw that he probably wasn't going to do well as a Democrat in the state of Ohio, so he has switched parties and has become very MAGA or MAGA. And is one of those big Trump supporters, and is surprising the hell out of a lot of people just in his run for the Senate the last time around. He's a first-term senator from the state of Ohio. But he's looking for people that got money and that love him and agree with everything he says.
Which is most important?
I'm sorry?
Which is most important, agreeing with him or the money?
I think right now is the money.
Yeah, I would think so.
But definitely, and somebody who doesn't know the Constitution very well, as Mike Pence did.
Right.
Or certainly not opposed to doing something against the Constitution. Brendan McCutcheon on Facebook says, "I know you're joking, but everything he does is so unprecedented. He might say he doesn't need a vice president and appoint one when elected." Yeah, that's been the conversation too, Brenda. You're absolutely on target with that, because nothing, if you elect this man, nothing will be normal.
Yeah.
Our day-to-day lives will be upended. I believe this. We had this discussion with our friends not too long ago, and it's like, if Donald Trump is elected, you'll be fine. No, I don't believe that. I don't.
So what do you think? So what do you think will happen if we won't be fine? What will happen? What does that mean?
I think us as a media company, that if we continue to print things about him and question the things that he does, then we'll find ourselves, as he would want us to be arrested and put in jail.
And so we would be arrested and put in jail for what?
For slander against the president, whatever trumped up charges, if you'll pardon the pun, that they can come up with to find people. And I think that organizations that we're affiliated with, like Black Voters Matter, will cease to exist. They will not allow us to vote in the way that we have come to know to vote. And even with the difficulties that other Republicans have put in front of us and roadblocks, I think that they will do everything and just do everything to make sure that we cannot vote, that that our health care is not taken care of anymore.
And just Black people or all people?
Well, all poor people.
All poor people. So
not poor Americans. All poor Americans.
Okay.
Yeah. And he will will not allow anyone to come to this country, just as what he tried to do 4 years ago with the border situation.
Absolutely.
He will not allow people to come to this country, and he may allow us to leave, but I bet you his affiliation with people like Vladimir Putin, and the president of China will, as well as Lil Kim from North Korea, those are the kinds of dictatorships that he likes and will try to implement. Democracy will be dead.
I just don't believe that. I just want to go on record of saying I don't believe that.
So give me your take on it then.
I believe that we'll get through it. I believe that, especially because I'm watching so much, when you look at the coverage that has happened because of D-Day and just what this country has gone through, what the history of the world have gone through, this doom and gloom that we put out, I just don't believe it. I believe that we're strong, resilient people. And if in fact we have to put up with Trump, that we came through slavery. Why are we so doom and gloom about this? I just don't understand. I don't understand that. We are strong people that are cut from a cloth of strength.
We're not that strong anymore.
Yeah.
We haven't
had to be. But when push
Right.
comes to shove, I say I lay down a challenge and say we'll see how strong we are.
Well, I'll
You
see
haven't
you
had
from another country because
okay.
I don't believe that he means good for any of us.
Okay, I'm here. I don't think that he's going to have that power, and I think that our
And I
system is set up.
and here's why I don't think that having a black vice president will do any good. Byron Downs, who is a congressman from Florida, says that he would like us to go back to Jim Crow. He thinks that black people did better under the laws of Jim Crow.
Yeah, that's that black man that's just pandering to Trump. We
Right.
get it.
But
We know
that's
that's
the
what he's
kind
doing.
of thinking
No,
that
he's pandering. Let's call it what it is. That
man.
he is pandering. I don't believe that he believes that. He
Well, why
is
would you say it?
because
Well,
let me tell you,
like she said.
because he's pandering to Trump. He thinks that there is a small myopic chance of him becoming vice president. It ain't, but that's just part of it. But not only that, what also we're doing, Aprylette, it goes back to your first story. What is more addictive than the internet is internet fame. So if you can do something where you can get a like and you can get a click, then we'll do it and say it. We don't have to mean it.
Yeah.
We just want to be seen.
Ooh,
And the same for Donald Trump. He wants to be seen.
Especially Donald Trump. I'm sorry, Sybil. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
It's okay.
This could be very ignorant.
I think what you're doing now is what we will not be allowed to do in the coming months, and that is to voice our opinions.
Okay. What are you about to say, Aprylette?
Nothing. I was just kind of, again, because this is not my wheelhouse, but I pay attention. But when I think about America being, a capitalist society, and it's, we are worker bees, when it comes down to when you said kind of simple, the poor Americans, it would be harder for us. At the end of the day, since Donald Trump is a businessman and he wants, America to be this, continue to like work society.
He wants to be.
And what type of he
wants to own he wants to be like Putin. He wants to own everything and allow the rich people to own, but only if they can work together and make money for each other.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think he means any good.
That's not just him. That's how this country is set up.
I was kind of thinking like America is.
Yeah, but thank God, clearer minds have been in charge of this country, and now they're all moving in his direction and at his behest. And there are people who are losing their true sense of direction and purpose as a result of their, toting up to Donald Trump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's why not only is it important to vote for president of the United States, but it's important, and vice president, but it's important to vote for your senator, for your congresspeople, and on and on and on and on and on down the line. We don't have a chance in the state of Texas because we have a guy who is Donald Trump is next in terms of the way that he runs this country.
Well, he's worse than, to be honest with you. See, again, in my opinion, I think our governor is worse than Trump. And the reason why I say that is because I think Trump is a clown, and he just says things just to try to.
He's got the crazy people behind him who are the puppeteers who are telling him what to say.
Does he? Trump does?
Yes.
That may have been the case. I think it's him in the asylum now. I think it's him. But I think the governor of Texas, I think he's shrewd. I think he's really, really, really smart. I think he's calculating. And I don't think he's emotional. He plans.
And he also works with Donald Trump acolytes. He has on his staff people who have worked for and are trying to bring the state of Texas the same way and reduce all women's rights and voting rights and everything else in the same direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. But that's why, again, I think he's more dangerous. I think we need to be paying more attention to Abbott. I think he's more dangerous than Trump because Trump is a clown. He's there for us to get distracted by and get emotional by when other people are really doing some things that could really, really harm us.
We've gone off topic here in just with this vice presidential talk and missed a lot of things that went on today. Today is the 80th anniversary of D-Day, where people from soldiers and seamen from all over the world joined together in the fight against Hitler as to take back the country of France. And it was a beautiful ceremony. How do I know? Because I was up. I woke up and couldn't go back to sleep. So I watched the ceremony from France, and it was positively beautiful, but it was also mindful of what can happen if we are not vigilant in this country. And I think also that was a part of President Biden's message. It was also good to see the president of France gave the Legion of Honor awards to soldiers from all the countries that were involved in saving France and making the switch and making the Germans realize that they were not going to win World War II. And so with the Americans, you only talk about, with the exception of the red tails, you only talk about the white soldiers and the white veterans. In this, it just started me on the Google, going and looking for other Black people, because in that group of 11 veterans that were honored by President Macron today, there were 2 Black men, and I'm going, who are these guys? And I found one of them, but there was also, and Cameron talks about this in tomorrow's newsletter, and I think we should really do more on this. There was a battalion. It was called the Balloon Battalion, and these are Black men. It was an all-Black battalion, and they were to raise up the balloons, and the balloons were attached to bombs, and the bombs would fall on the enemy's airplanes and on the ground. It's a fascinating story, and there's a documentary about it. I tried to watch that this morning, and there's a lot going on, but we were there. And we were in the air, we were on the ground, and we were in the sea. And thank you for all those who gave their service and their lives for our country,
for the world.
Yeah, for the world. And the French people are never going to forget. They have it's heartbreakingly beautiful, a cemetery with 9,000 crosses behind them. All the people that died on D-Day.
Wow.
From around the world.
Wow.
It's heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time.
Sounds like it.
And so we'll close. I won't talk about NASA. They'll still be up there next week when we meet.
Where are they
at? They're on their way to the International Space Station, and this is the first time that they've had some delays because NASA has parceled out the business to businesses like Boeing. And Boeing, has had their issues.
Yeah.
And Boeing was the aircraft that got them up to the International Space Station today.
But Boeing can't get a win, can they?
No. but this is a win for them. But I would have asked, if I was the astronaut, I would have been like, "Are you sure?
You sure we doing Boeing?"
Right. But we'll talk about that. They'll join SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule already docked at the International Space Station, and so they're trying to get astronauts back into orbit and back to the moon. That's one of the goals.
Messing around with
I'm sure you'll keep us posted on that.
I will. Coco Gauff got bounced in the semifinals at the French Open, and so against number 1. So she's still pushing. I love that kid. And also, let's move to entertainment. And congratulations to Gabourey Sidibe. The actress gave birth to twins. She and her husband, Brandon, welcome twins. And it was announced today, but the twins were born a couple of months ago. So that was one of those, as my daddy used to say, a mind your own business. And so they were able to keep that under wraps. The twins named Cooper, and the little boy was Cooper, and the little girl's name is Maya.
Yeah,
Maya.
She said her husband always wanted to name a son Cooper, so they call him Coop, and Maya was named shortly before their baby moved to the Mayan Riviera in Mexico.
Oh. Okay.
And both of the twins have West African middle names, a nod to her side of the family.
Oh, she's West African.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Did we lose?
Oh, she left. I'm trying to.
Okay, well, she if she can come back, so you can give your jewel.
Well, I'll give it anyway, and I'll give it to her. So, Aprilette, my advice to this upcoming election: don't be nervous, don't be upset, don't let all the frenzy talk turn the internet off from hearing all of that that's going on, and just understand that sometimes the best way to find clarity is to let things play out. So the jewel
I
is
receive.
sometimes to find clarity, you just got to let things play out. And with this, we're not going to have a choice but to let it play out because it's going to play out.
But we are going to vote.
But we are going to vote.
Okay. All right.
And
Thank
it's
you
going
so
to be
much, Miss Aprylette. Good luck with your Get Fine program. Yolanda, good luck with yours.
not to get fine. You surmise that. Okay.
Well, the way she describes it, it's like, and then she does this.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's
Yeah.
All right. Get fine, Miss Aprylette.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. Thanks for participating.
Thank you.
See you
Thank you.
next
Thank
time.
you so much.
Aloha.